Boy, you guys got a treat today. If you don't know by now, I did lose the March Madness challenge with Joe. We did a draft. It was my idea, of course, and I lost. So, punishment, you guys are spending a solo pod with me. Shouldn't be too long. Maybe, 2, 3, maybe 4 hours. I don't know. We'll see if we have time. But first and foremost, he got lucky. Okay. Duke should have won the whole thing. Was I smart to let him take both Arizona and Michigan? No. No. Going back, wouldn't do that. But at least I lost on a memorable shot, one we'll see for a long, long time. And that's that UConn shot. So congrats to Michigan. But I don't want to talk about college basketball today in the solo pod. Solo pod, we are doing a quarterback breakdown for the NFL draft. And it's not a huge quarterback draft, I will say. So we're going to rely on what I think are the top six. Top six. I think that's fair. So let's just kick it off. I'll tell you right now, the first thing I do when I evaluate these guys, I just go watch a highlight tape. I go watch a condensed highlight tape of these guys. I don't have time to sit there and break down 5 games each of theirs, see all their decision making. But what it does let me see is your ceiling, lets me see what you're made of. And then from there, I can kind of decipher whether or not some of these highlights are good or bad. So for you as the listener, you either use this as a dynasty draft pod. You could use this as just, hey, I want to be able to talk about quarterbacks in the draft. And you're getting it all from Willy Mo right here. First and foremost, we're going to start with the number 1 overall pick, and that's going to be Fernando Mendoza. I do have him ranked number 1 in my rankings after watching, and we obviously saw the whole season. They were just running through people, but he's a big part of that. He really is. So I nickname him the back shoulder bully because that's what he does. He's perfected the back shoulder, something that I think Aaron Rodgers made really popular. And Fernando said, hey, I don't have the best arm in the world. I have a really good arm, but I don't have the best arm in the draft class. But he throws guys open. That's something I love to see. I love when quarterbacks throw guys open. Some of these highlight tapes, you'll watch them and you say, hey, this offensive coordinator, whoever this guy is, he's scheming it up. I remember watching Dwayne Haskins highlights, and a lot of those touchdowns, the guys are open by 10, 15 yards sometimes. I don't get much from that. What I do see in a lot of those scenarios are quarterbacks that are just underthrowing those to be safe. And guess what? That doesn't work in the NFL. In the NFL, you're not getting that much space. And those guys are going to make up that room, and it could be a pick. Maybe you complete the pass and he doesn't score a touchdown because you underthrew him. That was something I saw a lot with Quinn Ewers a couple of years back, is that he would, whenever he had a safe pass to make, a easy, no miss, he just really underthrows it, make sure his guy gets it. I like a quarterback that's always just putting it on the money, no matter what time of day it is. Mendoza's really good about that. He's going to abuse the back shoulder, and then as soon as you defend the back shoulder, he's taking you deep on it. And Kirk Cousins even said, I'm excited to learn how to throw the back shoulder from him because he's got it figured out. I talked about it on the pod this past week with Joe, but another thing about him is he looks like a robot, and I mean that in the best way possible. Because when he first takes his drop back, he does everything exactly how you teach it. There's so much attention to detail in the things that he's doing. And that's really hard to find. A lot of guys want to do it their own way. They have a unique style. His is very textbook. And then as soon as the play breaks down, you don't know what the fuck this guy's going to do. And I love that about him too. He's not a good athlete. He really isn't. And he ran more this year than he ever has. I don't think that's going to be a big part of his game, but If you neglect it, he'll find it. He'll take advantage. It's just good enough to keep you honest on defense. And lastly, about this kid, we all know by now, but he's not going to fuck up off the field. He just won't. He's a great character, great leader. At times, feels like a Disney character. Feels like he's in a Disney movie. He's the perfect pairing with Kirk Cousins. We all agree on that. And he's coming to Vegas. And if you're going to bring in a young quarterback to Vegas, you got to make sure they got their shit right. And he's got it right. So what I see from him is maybe not the highest ceiling, but it's a very safe pick. You know what you're going to get from him. And people want to say that he didn't show up in these big games. Ohio State, for example, didn't do too much. I'll tell you what he did. He didn't lose the game. He's very good about keeping you in the game the entire game, which is super valuable. A lot of people talk about Tom Brady being the best quarterback of all time. Tom Brady did not have the best arm. He was not a runner. The one thing that Tom Brady did really, really, really well, he knew how to play the game. He understood when to take chances, when to be safe with it, when to just live to see another day. Sometimes that means we're going to punt the ball because there was nothing there and I'm not going to force it. And God damn it, I wish I could learn that when I play NCAA football because I'm always taking chances. I'm always letting it rip and usually goes poorly for me. But that's enough about Fernando. We know he's going to be the number one pick. He is the number one quarterback in my rankings. Number two, though. Number two is also unanimous, I would say. That's Ty Simpson. And I'm sure we all saw Orlovsky. We all saw what he said. We all saw what he did. He stuck his neck out. He said he's the best quarterback in the class. He threw some shade at Mendoza. Everybody got mad at him. Everybody said, hey, did you forget about these games that Mendoza played in? I see what Orlovsky's talking about. When I watch this tape, it's elite. It really is. When you just watch the highlights, this guy is incredible. The way I made an analogy about it is that he plays like he's playing with a Nerf football. Most people, when they think of the Nerf football, they think about how far you can throw it. I don't mean it in that sense. The sense I mean it in is that he can throw a ball in which there's defenders in the way. You got to drop it in. You got to drop it in the bucket. He drops it in the bucket, but it doesn't lose speed. It almost gains speed as it's falling. And that's something you do with a Nerf football. You can throw darts, but you can manipulate these angles. He's really good at that. I think he has the most arm talent of the class. He throws like every ball I watch when he releases, which by the way, I could just watch him throw a football all day long. It's so beautiful. But he just throws darts nonstop. The other thing about him is he wants to run the ball. He's not afraid to run the ball. He's a very good runner, potentially the best runner in this class. You can get a little deeper. You can say Diego Pavia. You could say Taylon Green. But when we're talking about these top tier guys that we're really looking at, that we really think are going to start games in the NFL, I would say he's probably the best runner. We'll get to the North Dakota State kid a little later. He's also an elite runner. I just wish I could have seen it at a different level of competition. The nice thing about Ty Simpson is he's going against SEC town. Another thing you got to love about this kid, he doesn't look like your average Alabama quarterback. I got a feeling if Nick Saban was the coach, he wouldn't have been there. He wouldn't have gone there. He's got a swag to him. You can see it. You can see it in the way he acts, the way he dresses. He does not look like your traditional Alabama quarterback. This is a good thing to me. This is a good thing. I need a quarterback that's got a little oomph to him, a little something, something, where guys look at you and they go, okay, I'm going to listen to that guy. That guy's got some aura, but he's still a leader. He's still a good guy. And I just think based on the arm talent, based on the swagger, based on the running ability, if you can dial it all in, if you can make it consistent, if you can hone that in, peak is crazy. It's the highest peak in this draft. I'll tell you that right now. This is the highest peak. He has a higher ceiling than Mendoza, but Mendoza has a much higher floor. Now, this next quarterback that everybody's talking about, I think a lot of people got him third. I think a lot of guys got him third. I don't have him third. I have him much lower. I don't believe in this guy as of right now. That's Garrett Nussmeier. Now, I was big on him going into the season. Thought he might even win a Heisman. Did he? No. Part of the reason he did get injured, and he played through the injury. I respect that. I do like that. When I watched the tape, and maybe I need to focus more on past years, watching this year's tape, I'm happy he was hurt because otherwise, I don't think he has a chance. He has good upside, especially based on the earlier years, the early tape. But when I watch this one, the depths, I mean, the floor is the depths of hell. It's rock bottom. A lot of the balls he's throwing on this highlight tape, those are balls that get picked off in the NFL. Instead, in college, they're touchdowns. It's not going to work out. It's not going to work out if you're throwing the ball like that. So I don't like his ball placement, and maybe that's because he was hurt. Maybe he just couldn't get it where he wanted. But he's one of those guys, he has a tendency to make a bad play worse. Anybody that talks football with me, you're going to hear me say that a lot. You made a bad play worse. That's something you don't ever want to do. He does that a lot. He's always looking to extend the play and run here, run this. Yeah, I get it. You're trying to be a hero. That's the nice thing about Mendoza. Mendoza doesn't have to be a hero. He's only a hero in the moments where he knows there's no other choice. Nussmeier does it consistently, and a lot of times it turns out bad for him. But overall, I'd be shocked if he has any real impact in the NFL. It's a great arm. He's got a great arm. There's no denying that. You can't be in this conversation if you don't have a great arm. But that's not going to sell me. You can't just have this great arm. I don't think it translates well to the next level. And maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it was all just this injury. But as of right now, Willy Mo, out on Nussmeier. Now let's get to somebody a little more polarizing than Nussmeier. More polarizing than Ty Simpson. That's Carson Beck. Carson Beck is somewhat of a villain to people. He bounced around schools, cheated on the Cavender twins. I actually went to the same high school as these girls. Fun fact. But the thing he does have, he has confidence, unlimited confidence. I compare his confidence, honestly, to Shadur Sanders. He plays with that same style of confidence. And I like that in a quarterback. I like a quarterback that has it. Only problem is, I will say in some of his interviews, he's quick to blame others. He's quick to throw other people under the bus. Don't love that. But I do see him getting playing time at some point in the NFL. I think he is talented enough. Obviously, 5-star quarterback coming out of high school. He bounced around to different big-time programs, won the starting job, took Miami on an unbelievable run. So he's used to the spotlight. He enjoys the spotlight. He's not afraid of the spotlight. If he goes to a place like the New York Jets, he can handle it. I promise you that. After how much hate he received this past year, I'm not worried about that. He's got the arm talent. There's no doubt about that. You watch any of his film, he's got a cannon. That's the only way you become a 5-star. It's the only way you get into this conversation. That's the only way to get Willy Mo to even talk about you. You got to have an. And I don't know how he's rated necessarily as an athlete. I don't know if he's rated highly as an athlete or if he's rated very low as an athlete. The one thing I will tell you is, however he's rated, it's too high. He's rated too high as an athlete. This guy cannot run the ball. This guy's going to get hurt running the ball. I feel the same way about Nussmeier, honestly. When I watch Nussmeier, he's got some oomph to him in the run game, but it's not pretty. Carson Beck, I just, the only way he's going to score a touchdown is if he completely fakes out the defense and only has to go about 10 yards. But I do like Carson Beck. I would be putting Carson Beck third. I'm going Mendoza. Then I'm going Ty Simpson. Then I'm going Carson Beck. I'm not ready to put Nussmeier in the 4 spot. I'm going to put Drew Aller in the 4 spot. It's kind of gross. Some people might even think it's pretty. I don't. I think it's gross. I think it's disgusting. I got a bad taste in my mouth. He took a major step back this year, and I know we didn't get to see a full season of him. He broke his ankle, still recovering from that, which that's not going to bode well for him because he's already a bad athlete. I watch this guy. This guy's the worst athlete of the bunch. This is the type of guy, if he goes to the NFL, he gets into a game, and he decides to run the rock, he's going to get fucking laid out. He really is. I felt the same way about Jaden Daniels. I mean, this guy can't protect himself at all. At least Jaden Daniels is very shifty and very, very fast. He still took really big hits. Drew Aller is as slow as you can be. He looks like a golden retriever in the middle of an ice rink. I mean, he's just got no wits about him. He's getting laid out by these college kids. When you get into the NFL, it's going to be a little different. What I do love is his tangibles. Great frame. Fantastic arm. If you watch the early seasons, you see it. You see it in the early seasons. If you watch just the few games he played this year, it looks rough. I don't know how they're developing quarterbacks at Penn State, but it's not good. They got to fix it. They're not known as QBU by any means. They're known as a school that always has a quarterback that's got a name that everybody knows, and then he does nothing after Penn State. That's what they're known for. But just based on the tangibles, just based on the mold, if he gets with the right coach and they can somehow get it through to him on how to make his reads, how to be more consistent with his throws, sure. You watch that tape from last year, there is a lot of Tyler Warren. There's a lot of Theo Johnson. Kind of a tight end merchant at the end of the day, if you want to ask me. But I'm going to give him the 4 spot. I am. With that being said, I'll put Nussmeier at the 5 just because of the earlier years. I saw him play live. It's there, but I've got a lot of worries. So the 6th and final spot, I'm going to go with Cole Payton, North Dakota State. Probably didn't watch this kid play at all during the year. Don't worry. Neither did I. I had to go back. I had to YouTube. I had to go back and watch. He might be the best runner of this class. I said Ty Simpson. Cole Payton's looking to run the ball very often. In fact, I watched him hurdle a cornerback at one point. That was pretty spectacular. Now, this draft class doesn't have a lot of great runners, at least in the top tier. So he's got that going for him. The other thing he has going for him, he's got really good ball placement. He's one of those guys that I watch when he does have an open receiver, he's still looking to put it right on the money. He still treats it as any other throw. He's not afraid to let it rip. Do obviously have questions about who he's playing against. I think you're always going to have those questions. It's very hard to rate these quarterbacks because you just don't get enough film of them playing up in level. And everyone around him at North Dakota State is better than the other guys. They're better than the guys they're playing against because they are a powerhouse. But that kind of goes to just him being a proven winner. Some people have bad taste in their mouth because they saw Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance had a lot bigger questions because Trey Lance only played like the COVID season. Before that, hadn't played since high school. Like going into the NFL, Trey Lance only had like 6 starts in college, which is just bonkers. I might be way off on that number, but I really don't think I am. I had a lot of concerns. Cole Payton, not as much. I just wish I could see him play against some Big Ten or SEC schools. That would really help me. But right now, I'm going to give him the 6th spot. I think it's fair. I think he did enough. Hopefully we can see some preseason ball from him, get a better feel. I mean, outside of these guys, it's not great. Even in that top 6, it's not great. Next year's going to be way better. Next year, you're going to have Arch Manning, Dante Moore. You'll have probably like CJ Carr, who I'm really big on. You got a lot of guys. Sorsby, all types. This year, not that heavy. Taylor Green, Luke Altmaier from Illinois. Don't see that. I see maybe a third string quarterback out of him. The big question mark is going to be Cade Klubnik. I loved Cade for the longest time. Was a huge believer. But this year was just, what the fuck was I watching? What was I watching? Some of these guys, you see their freshman tape and you say, this guy's going to be a number 1 overall pick someday. And then it falls off. So if I'm taking a flyer, I think there's no reason to not take a flyer on a guy like Cade Klubnik. And could Cade be in that top 6? Very easily. He's definitely the next fringe guy after North Dakota State kid, but prove it. Prove it to me. I don't want to hear about Diego Pavia. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work out. I'm sorry. And Sawyer Robertson also just so mid. So mid. Not impressed. I think Joe Fagnano, who me and Joe talked about extensively this season over at UConn, Joey Fags. That's a fun one. That's a fun one to keep your eye on. Had really good success at UConn. Let's see. I would like to see him make a team, make a roster. Somebody gets hurt, comes in, see what this kid's made of. But as of right now, top 6, I got Mendoza. I've got Ty Simpson. From there, we're going to dip our toes, just dip into Carson Beck, right? A little bit of a flyer. And then to me, there's a break. And we get Drew Aller, we get Nussmeier, and then we get Cole Payton, Cade Klubnik. That's where I'm at right now. Joe, if you're listening, you're a piece of shit for making me do a pod by myself. You just wasted everybody's time. They're all here to see you. Unfortunately, they had to listen to me. But that is my quarterback rankings going into this season. I'll dive into running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends, possibly on the next episode. But for now, this is where I leave you. Appreciate you listening to the solo pod. Chewbs 2026 film study finally dropped. And let's have a fucking year, boys. Let's have a year. With that being said, adios.